Hi, Andrew Bell with you again as we rapidly move to the halfway mark of the year. Today we're going to have a look at what's happening in the finance activity across Australia. Well before buying a property, buyers seek their finance, and so it's a real early indicator of what activity we might expect in a month or two following. However, first, the big news here on the Gold Coast this week was our sale at Sanctuary Cove of a $12 million property. Clearly an outstanding property, but it's further evidence that the top end of town is where we're seeing people start to feel confident that now's the time to re-enter the real estate market. I mentioned in recent weeks other high-end sales such as the J Penthouse for $7 million, Hedges Avenue for $5.3 million, Cronin Island for $6.1, a Monaco Street sale for $5 million, and a number of other sales in $3 to $5 million bracket. Across all price levels now, we're seeing increasing incidence of multi-offer situations where we see 2 or 3 or more people competing to buy a property. Now this is new and it's largely caused by a shortage of properties on the market for sale at the moment. Certainly an interesting development in the market cycle. Now back to home loan approvals. Finance, of course, is the lead indicator, as I mentioned. It's certainly the lifeblood of real estate. Through 2011, figures showed that home loan approvals were up about 1.4% nationwide, and we had 8 consecutive months of growth in home finance. Now the upturn in lending commitments reflects the stability that was around in 2011 where interest rates saw no rise. In fact, there were 2 falls at the end of the year. It also reflected an increasing number of people believing that following a long period of price correction, it was now time to re-enter the market. As we moved into 2012, the first 2 months of housing finance demand actually weakened, and we can understand why. It's because so many people were expecting interest rates to fall and they didn't, and so there was disappointment. Now, loans to owner-occupiers did rise by 0.3% in February and March, and we certainly expect to see further increases in finance applications when the official figures are released following the 0.5% drop in interest rates in early May. What is interesting is that a recent survey found that 51.7% of home buyers believe now is a good time to buy, compared to just 36.1% only 6 months ago. Currently, the biggest demand is from investors, followed by upgraders. And we're also starting to see some good competition amongst lenders, with nearly $900 billion in cash being hoarded by Australian households and businesses. Banks simply have to get the money out. And so you might be surprised with some of the great loan packages that are available now. Most people don't expect that. But there are 2 interesting developments that are affecting home loan applications at present. The first is that people are unsure as to whether they should go fixed or variable. There's been a substantial rise in fixed interest rate loans, which are now around 15% of all loans, which is at no surprise given that the 3-year fixed rates are currently lower than the variable rates. The other confusing factor for the inexperienced purchaser is whether they should wait for interest rates to fall further. But if you're on a variable interest rate, you'll automatically get the benefits of a further interest rate falls moving forward. Pleasingly, the average new loan to value ratio is a very comfortable 67%, so there's no high risk loans at present. Fundamentally, the 2.25% interest rate falls in late 2011 have only had a small effect on home loan applications, but it will be interesting to see in about a month's time how those latest figures show after that 0.5% fall. Discussion with finance brokers has certainly indicated that there's been a jump in loan applications as a result of that interest rate fall. If you have a current loan, this is the perfect time to be looking at fresh quotes for your financing. Your existing financer won't call you up and offer you a better deal, but by shopping around you can find better deals. You might also consider locking in a fixed rate, because very quickly the fixed rates can change, and what is now the most attractive interest rates in over 30 years could be lost on the fixed level. Personally, I've never had a fixed loan in my entire life, but I'm now locking in fixed rates. Ray White's loan market finance arm is Australia's largest independent retail broker, settling about $7 billion in mortgages annually through our team of over 600 brokers in Australia. So if you would like someone to do all the legwork for you and review your current loan or help source a lower interest rate, just visit the front page of this e-newsletter and click on the box marked Best Priced Home Loan, and we'll arrange for one of our brokers to contact you. Finally, in closing, let me announce the date of this year's Ray White Muscular Dystrophy Ball, which is the 8th of September. It's always a sellout, and boy have we got some excitement for you this year. You'll also see at the front of this newsletter, so click on the facility for the preliminary information and more importantly to book your table. We'd hate for you to miss out. Well, in our next e-newsletter, we'll have an overview of what's currently happening in the state of Queensland, which of course now has a new government and a new direction. So it'll be pretty interesting to see what's happening for the state of Queensland. More on that in a fortnight. That's regards for me now. Look forward to seeing you in a fortnight's time.